Assalamualaikum students. I'm going to introduce you a new unit that is the measurement. And in this unit, we will learn how to measure the things and how to measure the objects in different ways and the comparison, the conversion of these units also. So let's get started. Now we are going to learn about the first measurement, the first unit of measurement, that is length. So we will start from the units of length. There are two units of length. First is standard and the second one is non-standard. The non-standard units are the items that can be used for measuring thing, or they can be the body parts, and they can be the tools, or they can be the objects that we can use to measure these things. For example, body parts are in body parts, hand span or feet come, and the paper clip and the things like blocks we can use to measure the objects. In standard units, we have tools that are used everywhere in the world to measure the same things. And if someone is measuring one thing, the tools are same everywhere. So it is easy to measure the things with non-standard units, but still there are a few things that can be kept or that should be kept in your mind when you are going to measure the things. That is, each unit must be the same size. Okay, and the second one is that measure from the one end to the another end and don't overlap, do not leave gaps like that is shown in this picture, that they are all in a sequence. Okay, all the items are in a sequence in a row and they are put together in a very organized way. There is no gap, there is no overlapping, and all the objects are similar. Okay. Okay, so this is the correct way to measure crayons with the help of paper clip. They are you can see in the picture, they are put in order, and there is no overlapping, there is no gap among them. And in this picture you can see that the paper clips are not in order, and they're not in a sequence or not in a row. So in this way we cannot measure the things accurately. So we have to keep all these things in our mind whenever we are going to measure with the help of non-standard things. We have to keep all these four in our mind. Okay, in measurement with the non-standard unit, it's easy to measure for everyone, but what happens that it depends on the sizes of body parts and items we are going to measure with. If a child, for example, if a child or if a student from grade 2 is measuring something by using his hand span or feet, at the same time, an adult is measuring the same thing, the result will differ. Why? Because the sizes of the hands and feet are different. So the result will not be the same in non-standard units. But in standard units, the measurement will be accurate and similar everywhere. The result will be the same. So there are four standard units of length. First is millimeter. Okay, first is millimeter, centimeter, meter, and kilometer. In millimeter, we measure very small items and very small things, and this is also the minimum unit of length. In centimeter, we also measure the small object, but not that small, not that tiny. In meters, We measure the bigger objects or longer length. For example, the length of your room, the length of your classroom whiteboard, the length of your window, the length of your door or cupboard. So this is the way we measure these things with the help of unit. This unit, that is meter. In kilometer, we are used to measure the longer lengths or distance. So in a millimeter, we can measure the length of ladybird, and we can measure the length of some tiny items like your paper clip or like stapler pin, or the length of or the thickness of the leaf. These can be measured with the help of millimeters. As I told you before, that millimeter is the minimum unit of the length. And in centimeter or meters, we can measure the lengths of people. And we also measure the length of some other things I mentioned before, like the length of your classroom, the length of your cupboard, and etc. In kilometer, we measure the a distance. For example, the distance can be from city to city. The difference, it can be from one city to another city, or it can be from your school to your home. Okay, it can be the difference, and we measure it in with the help of the unit, that is kilometer, that we measure this distance as well. Okay, so there are 4 units of length. Okay, these are the short forms of these standard units that mostly used, because these are the commonly used things, units that we mention when we are doing some sums, or we are doing word problems, and we are writing on our workbook or book or in paper. For we don't write the full form of these units, that is millimeter or centimeter or meter, kilometer. We only write the short forms that are millimeter. In mm is for millimeter, cm for centimeter, m for meter, and km for kilometers. Like mm stands for millimeter, and cm stands for centimeter, and m stands for meter, and km stands for kilometer. So these are some conversions of these units. For example, if there are 10 centimeters, if there are 10 millimeters, that are 10 mm, it is equal to 1 centimeter. Like 10 mm make 1 centimeter. And when we come to centimeters, 100 centimeters make 1 meter, and 1000 meters make 1 kilometer. These are the things that you have to keep in mind while you are doing with these units of length. You have to learn them very carefully, and you have to memorize them. That 10 mm is equal to 1 centimeter, 100 centimeter is equal to 1 meter, and 1000 meter is equal to 1 kilometer. So when we compare things, we do that. We use these vocabulary words: shorter, taller, longer, smaller. Okay, but for comparison, for comparing the things and sorting the difference, it's a little bit difficult. Rather than we just tell that which one is the longer and which one is the shorter. If we have to compare the things, and we have to sort it out at which item is longer and which is shorter, and how much it is longer and shorter, we use the method of subtraction. And this is when we for example, a blue ribbon is 8 meters long, and a red ribbon is 3 meters long. It is very easy to tell that the blue ribbon is the longest one, the blue one. But It is a little bit tricky when someone asks how much longer. For that, we have to use the method of subtraction. We will minus 3 from 8, and we will write like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we will cut 3 from 8, and how many left? There are 5 lines that are left, so the answer is 5. That the blue ribbon is 5 meters longer than the red one. Okay, whenever we are going to start measuring the things, what we have to do, we have to start from 0. Okay, if we don't know where the if we randomly put the things on a ruler or inches tape or some measuring tape, and we don't know the exact number, because the ruler starts with the 0, not with the number 0. But when we have a broken ruler, or we have to learn the things with the help of broken ruler, what we will do, we will start from 0, from where the item is, or the object is started. Now first we have to keep in mind that we have to measure the object end to end. Okay, so if the shoe is started from 6, we will write 0 here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the shoe is 6 centimeters long. Same is the case with the envelope. We will start with the 0. Only this thing, yeah, you have to keep in mind that you have to start with the 0. Okay, 0, 1, 2, and 3. So this envelope is 3 centimeters long. So in this unit, students, we learn the tools of measurement that are called the units of measurement, their types, and the conversion, and the method we apply for comparison, for comparing the two objects. So we also learned that subtraction is not the only way to measure the comparison, or to compare the things. We can do in next lesson. We will learn in next lesson that how we will sort out the differences between two items and two things. So that's the end of today's lesson, and we will learn some more things related to this topic in next lesson. Thank you so much, and Allah Hafiz.